Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kashmir Notebook, a special frontline broadcast with Gowhar Geelani. This is our 15th episode, and we have a guest, Mr. Mirza Mehboob Beg, who was a parliamentarian, is currently a senior leader of the People's Democratic Party, and was earlier associated with the National Conference. His father, Mirza Afzal Beg, has been one of the most important political and legal personalities of the region, Jammu and Kashmir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Beg, first of all, a very simple question to get the conversation going is that your father spent many years in his political journey with Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah, but you are now with the opposition People's Democratic Party. What made you join the PDP?
No, if you look at the history, National Conference had a effective, strong leadership, pro-Kashmiri leadership, in the shape of Sheikh Abdullah, led by Sheikh Abdullah, Mirza Afzal Beg, and many others. If you look at the present leadership of the National Conference, and I make no secret of it, even in my public speeches, I do say I don't call this the National Conference. I don't see this as the same National Conference, which it was under Sheikh Abdullah's leadership when Mirza Afzal Beg was with him all along and all through. So that's one of the reasons, because I'm left with only two options. So regional politics is concerned, regional aspiration. That's so-called National Conference and PDP. Mm-hmm. So between the two, I think PDP asserts when it comes to assertion for the people of Jammu and Kashmir or for the people of Kashmir, where the present leadership of, in the shape of Farooq Saab and Omar Saab, they don't.
Okay, so we talk about Mirza Afzal Beg because you recently observed his 44th death anniversary. You come from a place called Sarnal in South Kashmir's Anantnag district, and currently you are in Srinagar. I wanted to understand from you that your father went to Aligarh, and Aligarh, as Chitralekha Zutshi also mentions in her book, The Caged Lion of Kashmir, that Aligarh University has been one of the political training grounds for many Kashmiri leaders of the time, including Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah, who did his MSc in chemistry there. Your father did his LLB, and there were several other leaders of the time who studied there in Aligarh. So what were your what was your relationship with your father as far as Kashmir's political knowledge and his experiences are concerned? What did he, what were those conversations about with your father?
No, first of all, most of the Kashmiris, you will see, they were graduated or they would go to Aligarh Muslim University.
Or to Lahore.
Or to Lahore. Only these places where they could do their graduation, post-graduation, or further advanced studies. So that's the reason that he was there. And then Sheikh Saab, in his own book, which is At-Shichinar, he says that, I don't know whether I should go that far into the history. You know, 13 July 1931, that was led by a non-Kashmiri, Abdul Qadir.
Who delivered a speech at the Khanqa.
That's right. So Sheikh Saab had nothing to do with it. When stories are attributed to Sheikh Saab vis-a-vis that, those are not true. So after that, it was only after that, much after that, that Sheikh Saab emerged as a leader, Kashmiri leader. There are many stories. Why did he out of all become the tallest leader? That's a different story. Anyway, so far as my association with my father, Mirza Afzal Beg, is concerned, I haven't seen much of him when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. Say 1953, when they were dismissed, I was 4 years old. So all along, all through, and you will be surprised, none of our siblings was very comfortable in his presence because we hadn't seen much of him, like normal relationship, child-parent or child-father relationship.
Because he would be in jail also.
He would be in jail all the time. And it was not that simple to see him in the jail. We had to apply. So then Government of India or state government, they would give you the permission. Then I would go and see him. And all along that period, when I was with him, there was some police official who would just be there around. So that
there would be some shadow all the time.
All the time. So that's That's my impression about my childhood or then with my father.
Okay, so let's get into Mirza Afzal Beg's first legal kind of potential that he had, because he was instrumental in he also played a role in the Constituent Assembly and also the drafting and the talks that he held with Parthasarathi, for example, in the mid 70s,
Right.
which eventually led to Indira-Sheikh Accord in 1975. So if we talk about these two things, and on the other hand, there is another side of Mirza Afzal Beg where stories are attributed that in public speeches, during public rallies of Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah, he would come up with a lump of Pakistani salt and a handkerchief, green handkerchief, and also as far as the Kashmir identity or Kashmir's economy, Kashmir's political identity were concerned, he played an instrumental role. So how do you see these two there is a contrast. On the one hand, he is someone who is in talks with New Delhi, and he is, a key figure in big Parthasarathi talks. And then he's also someone who is keeping Kashmir's political identity and economic interests in mind while Sheikh Abdullah makes his public speeches or is emerging as a public hero.
First, let's come to the legal aspect of it, the legal acumen he had. When after 13 July 1931, British, it was overall controlled by British government.
Suzerainty of British. Yeah.
That's right. So they told Maharaja, no, we'll send people there. It will be kind of a commission. And they will look at the grievances of Kashmiris. You can't just go on doing this. So it was Mr. Milton and Mr. Glancy. These were two commissions which were established. They came here. They heard people. There were grievances, especially Muslim majority people. They were suppressed. There were no jobs for them. So these were various grievances. So when Sheikh Saab in his own book says that when they drafted those grievances and they went to Mr. Glancy and told him these are the grievances. Sheikh Saab in his book says, he said, no, I can't read it. I know English. You better have an English translation of this. Then Sheikh Saab says that I had heard that some very intelligent, very clever person had come from Aligarh Muslim University. He is from Southern Anantnag, that's Mirza Afzal Beg. He called him. So before Glancy Commission, before Milton Commission, it was Beg Saab who appeared before them and who effectively talked to them about the grievances which Kashmiri had. So as a result of that, then party decided that Kashmiri should have a representation in
Which eventually led to Muslim conference in 1932.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mirza Afzal Beg was chosen and he was the first Kashmiri Muslim to become a cabinet minister in Maharaja Hari Singh's time.
And later a deputy chief minister.
That's much later, that's after
70s.
Post 47, yes. So only after 2 years, he found and he reported back to the party, Mr. Beg. He told them that I don't see the grievances being effectively addressed. So party decided that they should resign. There were two of them, Mr. Beg and Mr. Ahmad Yar Khan. Ahmad Yar Khan Saab continued, carried on. Beg Saab resigned and came back. Then when they were dismissed and Kashmir conspiracy case was launched against Sheikh Saab.
And 25 others. Including Beg Saab.
Including Beg Saab. So there he could demonstrate his legal acumen to its full. Because those days, Human Rights Commission from Queen's Council, Mr. Dinglefoot, he came, he wanted to be a part of the defense. So, but when he saw Beg Saab arguing during Kashmir conspiracy case, and the draft, he had drafted, he said that you don't need me because I have seen the draft which has been drafted by Mr. Beg. I can't add a colon or semicolon to that. Such is the perfection of the draft. So I will go back, you don't need me. Then even G.S. Pathak from the prosecution side, he went on to become the vice president. He said, Mr. Beg, why don't you come out of politics and join any bar in India? You can be a jewel, I'm quoting him, in any bar of India. Then Mr. Padgaonkar of Times of India, he said, when I saw him arguing, he turned tables on the prosecution, and they had to withdraw Kashmir conspiracy.
So that is the legal acumen.
That's the legal acumen. And during talks also, whether it was 52 Delhi agreement, what kind of a constitutional relationship Jammu and Kashmir should have with the rest of the country. Of course, Sheikh Saab was MSc chemistry. He had not much to do, not anything to do with the legal.
Chitralekha Zutshi in fact mentions he was neither an intellectual nor someone, a thinking person in terms of political, kind of acumen, but it was the people around him. For example, she quotes Ghulam Ahmad Ashai Sahab and Mirza Afzal Beg, even Chaudhry Ghulam Abbas and Premnath Bazaz and others who were around him. Maulana Saeed Masoodi and others who were around him. And for the benefit of the viewers, I want to say here that the book that you mentioned, Atash-e-Chinar, which was translated as The Blazing Chinar, it actually was published 4 years after Sheikh Abdullah had passed away. He passed away in 82 and the book came into public domain in 86. But be that as it may, could you please talk about the contradiction that I talked about? One is the legal acumen or his political, he was part of the Plebiscite Front. He actually was spearheading it, the founder president Plebiscite Front movement, and he was also instrumental in the Beg Parthasarthi talks. So how do you see these two, contradictions?
Contradictions, you mean Plebiscite Front and then winding up of it?
Yeah, winding up of Plebiscite Front, and also first kind of representing the aspirations of the people of Kashmir as far as the political question is concerned, and then the dilemma that Sheikh Abdullah also faced, where to go after the events of 71, because Kashmir is also considered a pawn in the geopolitical game. So what are your thoughts on this?
No, I don't see any contradiction.
Okay.
I don't see any. Politics is something dynamic. It's not static. You can't just say, I will stick to this and I will live with this for all times to
and
come.
Not change my mind.
Not change my mind. They say, there is a famous quote, they say, when facts change, when situations change, I change my opinion. What do you do?
And my analysis also changes.
And analysis. These are, once these 75 Accord happened, I remember a very interesting story. Worker came to Beg Sahib. She asked him, why did you wind up Plebiscite Front? You shouldn't have. It's a betrayal kind of thing.
First it was banned.
It was banned.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a betrayal. He wanted to tell him and make him understand in Kashmiri, that was the relationship between a common worker and the leadership. He asked him, why did you do it? Beg Sahib told him, have you grown paddy? He said, no, it needs 24 hours irrigation. I couldn't do it because the canal which used to irrigate it has breached. So I don't. He said, then you must have done nothing with the land. He said, no, why? So it was other things which don't need so much of water or irrigation. I did that. Beg Sahib said, same is the case with me. I wanted to have paddy, but this is exactly what happened. Therefore, I said, why should I keep it like that? Why don't I go for other things which can be grown on that barren land? So this is how he would make them understand. Then he told me, I said, it's okay, you have convinced him, he is all right with this. But what exactly happened? He said, Mehbooba, I'll tell you how things can dictate you. Situations dictate you.
Circumstances.
And you have to take it. You have to change with changing times. He told me when, much before the independence of India, much before, there was a thinking that finally British would leave.
World War,
Yeah, they would go back anyway. But then this thought came that after that, there will be a partition, and partition will happen on the basis of religion.
Punjab and Bengal.
Punjab and Bengal. Beg Sahib said, Mahatma Gandhi out of all, when this proposal was offered to him that once British government will leave India, it will become independent, but after independence, it will be partition, and a new Muslim country will emerge, which emerged as Pakistan later. Beg Sahib said, he said, oh, come on, I am a devout Hindu. You are telling me to split a cow Mata into two. I can't do it. Then he said when it happened much later, he was a party to it, he was around. So you can't say that he betrayed the nation. This is how politics dictates you. Say, for example, Sofi Muhammad Akbar Sahib, one of the tallest leaders of Plebiscite Front. He opposed Accord. He said humbly to Sheikh Saab and Beg Saab in Mujahid Mizr, which was the headquarters, that I can't carry on now. I can't go with this now. I want to continue with Plebiscite Front. Had that been correct, then people would have followed him. They didn't. They didn't, because people also understand. Say, for example, in '96, when Farooq Saab swept the polls, and then Umar Saab again, he has the same mandate. But people expected something more that time. They don't expect that much from Umar Saab, because times have changed. Even people change their thinking. That's a different story, that neither Farooq Saab did anything then, nor Umar Saab is doing anything.
We'll come to that later. But my question is, like, even when the Muslim Conference was renamed or rechristened as National Conference in 1939, at the time, most of the leadership of the Muslim Conference opposed the idea. And then, even before the 1947 partition, the kind of oppression that has been witnessed against Muslim Conference leaders, some of whom went into exile or were forced into exile. And similarly, what happened when Sheikh Abdullah came back or returned as Chief Minister as a result of the Accord in 1975, there have been people like A.G. Noorani, Abdul Ghafoor Noorani, or Chitralekha Zutshi, or even other academics and writers who have said that that period after the 1977 elections, the Sheikh regime was known for corruption, nepotism, and favoritism, and it also continued with its repressive policies, the same policies that Sheikh had fought against the Dogra authoritarianism. So how do you see this? And my question, which is with Mirza Afzal Beg having so close relationship with Sheikh Abdullah, what led to his dismissal in 1978? First as Deputy Chief Minister and also from the National Conference. How did this thing happen?
74, if we are talking about 74 Accord, 74 Accord happened after winding up of Plebiscite Front and reconverting or again going to National Conference.
Reviving National Conference.
Reviving, that's right. Reviving National Conference. That's what happened. And there is a famous quote, they say, Beg Saab said not once, many a times, हमने सियासी आवारागर्दी में
loafing or political meandering, loitering.
So somebody to ask me, what did he mean exactly? I said, I don't know what did he mean exactly, but if you dissect it or decode it, you can have different interpretations for all of it. But basic thing is things perhaps changed. They thought, suppose they had started from here, they wanted to go there, but many things happened in between. They said, no, let's be honest with the people.
There are some analysis like 71 happened or 75 emergency also happened.
As you said, geopolitical as well, they had to take that into consideration. Therefore, that thing happened. So far as separation is concerned, that's typical Shakespearean, what's that? What do you call that? You two Brutus. Sheikh Saab not once, many a times said, even once in Hazratbal, he pointed to Beg Saab, he said, this man has been with me in troubles and tribulations. When all others left, this man stood along with me, stood by me.
Even in 53?
Even in 53, when nobody went with him.
Bakshi had already done.
Bakshi Saab and all of them. He said, this man, here is a man. If my religion would allow it now, we would have got buried into one place. So,
but it is also coincidence that the year of death is the same, 1982.
Same.
The months are different.
Same.
June and September.
So what happened is simple. Beg Saab, when separation took place, let me tell you, Sheikh Saab was the Chief Minister. He had a Chief Minister's conference in Delhi. He asked Beg Saab to represent him in Delhi.
As Deputy Chief Minister.
As the Deputy Chief Minister. Well, he was representing Sheikh Saab in, it means a lot of trust, it means everything. When he was there representing him, Sheikh Saab here made a statement saying that everybody, I don't trust anybody now. Everybody, all MLAs, all ministers, they have to take a oath saying that we are loyal to Sheikh Saab. When Beg Saab returned, he said, even if my 47 years of my association with you in prison, in exile, in externment, when that's not sufficient to convince you that
prove his
loyalty, it's no use. I am not the one who will take this oath. I am not going to take this oath.
But wasn't in the public perception or in the public eye, Mirza Afzal Beg seen as a natural kind of successor to Sheikh Abdullah rather than Farooq Abdullah?
That's what happened. That's exactly the reason why it happened. Because Sheikh Saab also fell ill. And there was a pressure. I think Khaja Sonaullah Bhatt has also said it. There was pressure from the family. Actually, more so from Begum Sahiba, that is Begum Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah.
Yeah, I think in fact this is also mentioned in Chitralekha Zutshi's book, and also in Ahdnama Kashmir, written by this Khaja Sonaullah Bhatt or Rashid Tasir. Rashid Tasir.
Right.
Yeah, you were mentioning that there were pressures.
So there were pressures. Sheikh Saab also fell ill, and even during 77, if you look at 77, the election, assembly election of 77, Sheikh Saab was in bed all along. He didn't come out to campaign. It was Beg Saab who campaigned in 77 elections. But the moment results were out and they made a clean sweep, Sheikh Saab came out and he said, I am all right now, I'll take over.
But isn't it also true that when 75 Accord happened, there was a kind of a strike, all trans-Kashmir strike on the call of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto?
Yes, there was. Yes, there was. There was. But at the same time, in 77, the fairest elections, everybody recognized them as the fairest elections. So they made a clean sweep in the elections. In fact, all others, big stalwarts like Maulana Sayyid Masoodi, Mir Zaib, Muli Farooq Saab, Shamim Ahmad Shamim, Abdul Ghani Lone Saab, all of them came together to fight those elections. But people preferred again National Conference. And Beg Saab was the main campaigner because Sheikh Saab couldn't do it.
About Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah's jail terms, which is like after we calculate because he was sent into prison or was under house arrest, placed under house arrest on different occasions, or sent into exile also. So they come as 16 years and 6 months and some days. But Chitralekha Zuchi again mentions that during his time in jails, rather than writing anything substantial on Kashmir, Sheikh Saab would spend time in raising poultry or do gardening. Yeah. So what do you make of
That's so true. That's so true. Whenever I visited them in jail, Beg Saab would be reading books. Beg Saab would be preparing for a Kashmir conspiracy case. I have never seen Sheikh Saab reading a newspaper. I would spend some days, sometimes I was allowed to spend even days and nights there. I have never seen him doing it. Most of the time, she is spot on. Most of the times I have seen him gardening. And what else?
Raising poultry.
And raising poultry. Because everybody is not attracted to books. He was not one of those. I don't think Sheikh Saab. He was a popular leader. He had caught
but not an ideologue in that sense, nor an intellectual person. And he had not studied political science
as well. In fact, I will tell you an interesting story. When they were exiled and they were in 3 Kotla Lane, both of them, Sheikh Saab, Beg Saab, they were there. I was there for a couple of days. I was allowed to be there for a couple of days. Early mornings, they would have long morning walks, 2 hours, 3 hours. So, meanwhile, I also found time to sit with Sheikh Saab, talk to Sheikh Saab, discuss things with Sheikh Saab. I once asked the question, I told Papaji, what do you talk during long hours of walk? He said, why? I said, I don't see that intellect in Sheikh Saab. What exactly do you discuss with such a person? First, he said, just to make it lighter, he said, he thinks I have lost my mother, I am an orphan, And he tells me the same things which I told him one day earlier. Then he told me, he said, he has an ego. He's a leader. I have accepted him as a leader. When I want to tell him something, I go on telling him. But I leave it before I conclude it. I don't conclude it myself. Then next day he comes, he says, Beg Sahab, we must do this. I say, yes, Sheikh Sahab, you are 100% right. You are a thinking person, kind of. You are a thinker.
Massaging his ego.
Yeah. So he said, you have to do it in order to be with him. Because in 53 also, Sadiq Sahab and Beg Sahab, they were roommates in Aligarh Muslim University. They were friends. Once Beg Sahab told me, he said, Sadiq Sahab told me, I would have also gone with Sheikh Sahab. Don't go with him. He is inconsistent. He will not stick to something. Beg Sahab's argument was, he told me that I told him, it's an established leadership now. We must sit within and see how best you can correct him.
But what did he tell you after 78, once he was kind of unceremoniously deposed as Deputy Chief Minister and also thrown away from a national conference? What was the conversation?
He was hurt.
He was hurt?
He was terribly hurt. He was hurt to an extent. He again started smoking and smoking heavily. He would smoke all the time. And then he got a stroke and he didn't live longer. He was absolutely hurt. Because once he told me, he said, I have spent so much time with him. I can't say whether I love him now. I only consider him a leader. I am deeply attached to him. So he never expected. Even after this happened, he would tell me that, I'm sure Sheikh Sahab must have taken this call under huge pressure. Under huge pressure. I don't even blame now. I can't blame him because I know his ins and outs. I don't think as human being he could have done it. You must be knowing that when he fell ill and he was admitted in intensive care unit, SMHS hospital, Srinagar, they say Sheikh Sahab was the chief minister. Sheikh Sahab
came and visited
him. He said, Beg Sahab, do you recognize me? He was in semi-coma. Do you recognize me? He opened his eyes and you know the famous thing that he said. But he was really hurt, to be honest.
What were the exact words? Was it like, it took me time to recognize you?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, it took me time to recognize you.
Okay, let's come to another question, which is about you. That is that initially you joined the national conference. And now you said in the beginning of this program that the leadership of the other opposition party attracted you. That is the People's Democratic Party. But the critics would argue that from 99, when the PDP actually came into being, and then it fought elections in 2002, got 16 seats, and then fought again in 2008, got 22, and 2014, again got 28 seats, and then formed a government with the Bharatiya Janata Party, the same ideological force that it currently opposes tooth and nail. But at that time, Mufti Saeed described the partnership as a paradigm shift in Kashmir politics, which later his own son said it was a partnership in crime in an interview with the Indian Express. So what in the PDP attracts you right now with Mehbooba Mufti at the helm? Because critics again would say that there is not much difference as far as the dynastic politics is concerned in both parties. One is like Sheikh Mohammad Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah, Omar Abdullah, and here it is Mehbooba Mufti or Mufti Said earlier, and then Iltija Mufti probably in the future. So what is the attraction?
Two things. On political front, if you start in 2014, PDP had 28 seats. It didn't have the absolute majority as Farooq Sahab would have had, or
Omar right now has 40 plus.
He didn't have. So definitely it took him 3 months before he took over as the chief minister. Definite things were sorted out. Like, you know, from day one, BJP has been talking about abrogation of Article 370 or doing away
with the constitutional position
35A. During that period, they didn't utter, I think that is the only period when they didn't utter a word so far as abrogation of Article 370 is concerned. Of course, it's give and take. It's given. But most of the times, as you see, even when Mehbooba Mufti took over, and Burhan Wani thing happened.
It's 2016.
16. She asserted it, and she made them to send a delegation, all-party delegation, for talks, for negotiation, which unfortunately Kashmiri leadership of that time did not respond to. So, a question of assertion. When I started with Farooq Saab, you'll be surprised. I was an MLA. He was the chief minister. We used to have district development board meetings where you would discuss and take action about districts' various day-to-day problems. Once I told him there was a small village in my area, Gund Jafar Shah. It was surrounded by water from all sides. I asked Farooq Saab, I said, we need a fire brigade station there. We need a medical aid center there. Instead of asking the bureaucracy which was there, the chief secretary and others, asking them to put up a unit, fire brigade unit there or a medical unit there, he said, let's pray to the God.
Invoked religion.
Yeah, he said, let's pray to the God that there are no fires around. Nothing goes on fire, nothing gets burned down. And let's again pray to him that no illness happens in this area. So it was all non-serious thing. Even Omar Saab, he has a mandate right now. He has a mandate. He doesn't, first he talked about restoration of Article 370, 35A. Then he came to
1 lakh
statehood.
jobs. Yeah.
Then he came to business rules.
Restoration of
Now he doesn't even talk about business rules.
But the National Conference says, for example, in their defense, that since there is a hybrid model of governance, there are different rules of the game now, and somebody else is calling the shots. Law and order is not there, in their kitty. And then also they blame the PDP for actually bringing Kashmir to a position where it is right now by forging an alliance or, forging a partnership with the, BJP. So what would you say to that?
No, question is, even if this is a union territory, he knew it's a union territory. We have seen Kejriwal acting and performing in union territory. We have seen him doing so well in health sector.
Or education.
Education sector, he got international acclaim. And so far as business rules is concerned, who has to get business rules from Lieutenant Governor? It's he. He doesn't even ask for it. Once I asked P. Chidambaram, I said, do you think statehood will be restored to state of Jammu and Kashmir? He said, your elected chief minister doesn't ask them, doesn't force them, doesn't assert.
They are going to Jantar Mantar.
They are going to Jantar Mantar. Again, distraction, because the momentum was created that all parties should come together and we should
Are you referring to the letter that Mehbooba Mufti wrote?
Yeah. And everybody was talking about, not only letter, everybody was talking about unity in order to destroy that momentum. Now look at this. What's this? Delaying tactics. What's this? Distraction. Now we have to wait for first day of the monsoon session. So meanwhile, you have to do nothing. Meanwhile, you don't talk about it.
So last two questions, Beg Saab. One is that, again, all the academics that have written extensively on Sheikh Abdullah say that because of the people intellectual class that Sheikh Abdullah was surrounded with, this actually created a deep sense of insecurity and inferiority complex in Sheikh Abdullah. That is also what, and second is that there was this famous cartoon after the Accord that R.K. Lakshman, that caricature of Sheikh Abdullah as a lion, defanged lion, and there are these half-eaten apples around, and this is a lion now, it can no longer roar. And whatever Sheikh Abdullah's circumstances, geopolitical circumstances, right from the Dogra period to the partition to 1975, dismemberment of Dhaka. So how do you see Farooq Abdullah and Umar Abdullah in comparison to the leadership of Sheikh Abdullah?
Sheikh Saab, you are right when you talk about complexes and inferiority complex and you feel insecure. I think he was so much insecure he felt. Wherever he saw a dissent, wherever
crushed it.
He crushed it. I remember Abdurrashid Kabli, he was coming up as a youngster, a dissent. He wanted to be he would oppose Sheikh Saab all along and all through. He labeled him as an IB agent. Even Mufti Saab, he saw some fire in his belly. give credit to him. And he called him what? Gandhi Nale ki Keede. He was
Worms of the
nowhere.
gutter.
He was nowhere. This was not a comparison at all. Sheikh Saab was at the peak of his popularity. Mufti Saab was not known even in Bijbara. He would always, this again showed his complex, his insecurity. He was insecure all along. He had those complexes, and he would never ever like or want an opposition to him. In no way. And perhaps long imprisonments, long periods of being in prison, I think broke him in the sense.
Because the likes of Bakshi Gul Muhammad took to power.
And Khaja Sunawallah Bhatt writes, he said it was, he was facing huge pressure within the family. Whole family was exerting pressure on him, telling him, look at Sadiq Saab, look at Bakshi Saab, they have enjoyed, they are enjoying. Why are we here? Why don't you take over? Why don't you take? And he did it. And that's very unfortunate so far as Kashmir is.
So, but as a politician now, irrespective of your current political ideology, let's not talk about PDP and NC at the moment, but as a politician from Kashmir who has seen it, and been witness to many ups and downs and tragedies, in the aftermath of August 2019, there is a lot of helplessness and hopelessness in Kashmir, in every sphere. How do you see Kashmir in 10 years from now or 20 years from now, given the current uncertainty that is?
Difficult to say. But if you insist that I should say something, I think, true, they have taken charge of, they have taken control of law and order. True. They have suppressed, they don't allow dissent. They don't allow even normal, peaceful protests. They don't allow even Jamia Masjid to function.
It has no Friday prayers.
Prayers.
And Eid prayers.
No Eidgah prayers on Eid.
It's been the story for the last 7 years.
I think this is dangerous. Dangerous in the sense it goes underground. If you don't allow a descent above ground, it goes underground.
So do you see this silence in Kashmir for the last 7 years as a protest or surrender or servitude or just survival tactic?
I think survival tactic plus silence, because it has a heavy cost. He is tired, he is exhausted. He can't...
Conflict fatigue also?
Conflict fatigue. He can't take it anymore. But is it the end of the story? I don't see that. Kashmiri, if you look at the record...
So you're saying that when dissent is not allowed or the media is choked, gags are put on civil society coalitions, human rights work is suppressed, there is a danger that this apathy from the people or helplessness of the people could result into something which could be not thought about.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately.
Okay, on that note, Mr. Beg, thank you for your views, and I hope that the viewers also like this interview because it was we discussed last 90 years of Kashmir's political landscape, and I hope that you continue to watch the Kashmir Notebook and continue giving your feedback, your valued feedback to improve this program further. Thank you very much for watching.